Jen here with a layout for the Spiegel Mom Scraps design team. Happy New Year! It's almost done. 2023 is coming to a close. This is my second last video for the year. And what a year it's been. I'm not sure how it's happened, but it has been an equally very, very fast moving year and very slow moving year. So it's done though, and we survived. And yeah, that is what I'm going to say about that. There were a lot of really amazing things that happened for me this year, and a lot of stuff that was just hard, and lots of bumps and hurdles and trials, and so yeah, it's definitely one to reflect on. It feels like every year now we say those same words that reflecting back, the years just feel kind of heavy recently. So that is all I'm going to say about that. Let me explain what I'm doing with my layout. So I pulled out some of my Wild Whisper papers for a layout that I did a couple weeks ago during my live, and this one here caught my eye, and so I kind of tucked it to the side, and I wanted to remind myself to come back to it. This is from their Baubles and Bits collection, and one side of each of the pages is black and white like this, and the other side is colorful and has patterns and things. And so the idea is that you can really use these papers to do lots of fun mixed media and paint like I'm doing, or just kind of add your own touches to them, and I really love that. And so I knew I had some wintry pictures I wanted to work on kind of end of December and into January and February, and thought these pretty snowflakes would definitely be something to kind of play around with. So I pulled out some of those shimmery watercolors that I've been using recently. Those are all from Dollarama. I can't really tell you a specific brand or anything like that. I can tell you they are shockingly good for what they are, and they are stretching quite a bit. I mean, I'm really using them up. I add a ton of water to them to really get them like flowing and working well. They are opaque, they blend, there's lots of mica in them. Yeah, I'm surprised at how nicely these actually kind of work for just being an off-brand, completely impulsive purchase. But you can see here they're just really fun, and they have this beautiful shimmer. And so I pulled out a couple different grays and kind of silvers. I pulled out my pink, a blue, and a purple. And I thought that those colors would work really well with the picture that I'm scrapbooking. It's from way back in 2015 when we first had our middle boys. Not our first set of family photos with them, but the second set, I think. And so I am wearing pink in my scarf, and then the boys have some blue in their sweaters, and everything else is either like blue jeans and grays. And so I thought these colors were going to work really, really well. I'm definitely playing up on having tons of white because there's lots of white in the photo. And so, yeah, I just thought I'm going to go super simple with this. I'm going to let the paper kind of speak for itself. I'm going to do a couple of those snowflakes. You could definitely go all out and paint every single one of them. They're pretty easy shapes. So you saw me just kind of zip right through that. You could definitely paint more of them, but I just really wanted each of those colors to kind of pop a little bit. And so in my mind, that meant less rather than more, so that each one kind of, stands out amongst the background where most of them are just black and white. And so I got all those colors on there, set them to the side to let them dry. It only took a couple of minutes, even on the glossy paper from Wild Whisper. They dried very, very quickly. And I pulled out one of my Christmas presents from my nephew. He bought me this gorgeous little scrapbooking kit. And so I thought I might be able to find some fun little textures. I knew that the kit colors kind of had blues and grays and things like that. So I thought I'd probably find something with a little bit of blue to it and then a little bit of texture. So I found almost like a, I don't know, like a vellum paper that has a blue background with a pattern in it. I put that on either side of my photo. And then I also found this really pretty, almost like a rice paper. It has some texture to it and some swirls, kind of like a vellum, but with a homemade touch to it. So I'm going to say like rice paper. That's what it reminds me of. It's kind of see-through, but it has lots of texture. So I used a little bit of that at the top and bottom of my picture. And then I just had a scrap from literally right in front of me in my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. I've slowly been emptying that out to get it ready for the new year of How to Kill a Kit with Style. And so I had that piece of paper that is just that kind of off pink. It's not super bright. It's just really pretty and kind of pastel-y. And so I thought that worked good to bring a little bit of color right into my photos. And that's really it. That was all the layers that I was going to put in there. I didn't want to cover up all of those gorgeous snowflakes. And again, I wanted to keep things really, really simple and just let those snowflakes kind of pop and shine. And you can see how pretty they are. So that is the bulk of my layout. But of course I needed a few bits of embellishment. You honestly probably could just leave it the way it was. And I could have just loaded it up with sequins and things like that. But I did want a few little pops. And so I went into my wood veneer. This is all Christmassy wood veneer. I keep that all together. But that's where I throw any trees that I get. Most of the time, I feel like the trees you get are in Christmas packs anyways, but I use trees in other things too. We go hiking and camping and stuff, so it's nice to have trees available, but that's where I keep them. So I just popped into those Christmassy wood veneer. I pulled out a few different trees that I had. Two were already painted, one in like a dark gray and one in almost more of a mint. That's not really a color I had in there, but I just thought it was another kind of pastel color that matched what I was doing with the other colors, the pink and the purple and the blue. So I pulled that one out. They're in two different sizes. And then I went ahead and painted the rest of them with the colors that I was using, just so that I kind of kept that repeating and had some of that metallic in my trees. And this sits really nicely on top of the wood veneer. I think because of the mica powder, it doesn't fully absorb into the wood the way that other watercolor does. Because of the mica, I actually think it kind of sits on top really nice, and you can definitely get a thicker consistency by not having quite as much water and doing a couple little layers, and it really looks metallic. Like, these are really beautiful and shimmery and very pretty trees. Weirdly, that like modern feel, I think you could definitely make this sort of more modern, but for me I don't think it reads as modern. It feels kind of just like wintry and shimmery and pretty. But if you wanted to do like a modern Christmas layout where you had all the like metallic colored trees, you know how you can get artificial trees that are bright pink and white and blue and stuff like that, you could definitely use some mica powder to beef up your watercolors and have that metallic finish to them, and it just looks really super pretty. So that is what I've done here, and now I'm just going to kind of arrange them so there's a couple on each side, and then I need to add my gorgeous sequins. So in this little bowl that I'm working with right there, that is all of the mix that I put into my December daily album, the little shaker pocket that I put. I kind of mixed a bunch of it up and put it into the window, and I added a whole bunch and tested it, and then took a little bit out to try to get like the right amount of sequins in that shaker pocket. And so instead of, playing with each individual package, I just mixed it all up. So I've been keeping that mix beside me and kind of using it in all of my Christmassy layouts. I'll probably just create another shaker pocket in one of my December daily albums, probably this year's album, and use the rest of it up. But it's sitting right there, so I definitely grabbed for that and grabbed all that little faux snow that I have in there and kind of scattered that around. I put it in the center of a couple of the larger snowflakes, and then I grabbed my Frosty Mornings sequins mix from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and the colors match perfectly. The pinks and the blues definitely match the watercolors that I was using. So I've just scattered them all over. There's also tiny little snowflakes in that one, and they're super pretty. So I'm adding a few of those cute little snowflakes around just to really drive home the winter theme. And then there's some big white sequins, like the really, really big ones. So I'm going to pop a couple of those in around the layout as well. And then I figured while it's out, I'm going to go ahead and add some more of that faux snow. So just a little bit down at the very bottom where the trees are, kind of filling in the spaces, because I definitely staggered those trees. So kind of filling in some of that little space at the bottom with the faux snow. And then I'm also going to put some up at the top and, make a bit of a border and make it look like it kind of snowed onto my layout. And that's it. This layout happened super, super quick. In the end, you'll see that I do kind of think that maybe I need a title. And so I do find a metallic word that says togetherness. It's been sitting on my desk in my little jar that I keep up above me for like 6 years. And I finally got it used and it works perfectly. It matches all the metallic. And so that was really fun, kind of like a woohoo moment, a super exciting moment for me. But I definitely kept this just really simple and really basic. I wanted those colors to shine. The sequins, I wish you could see in real life just how gorgeous the sequins are and how much they kind of pop and make this layout just sparkle and shimmer, and it catches the light and it's just super, super gorgeous and beautiful. And totally not planned. I pulled out the colors before I pulled out that sequins mix. So perfectly coordinated, and I absolutely love this layout. And that is it for me. So please check out my link down below. Use my discount code Jen15 next time you are in the Spiegel Mom Scraps shop. And until next time, happy scrapping and happy new year. Bye.
What about the channel?